I'm here today to introduce you guys to one of my favorite artists at the moment, actually. He, over the last few years, life's been pretty chaotic, and I would say I've done a lot of self-exploring and understanding myself and the mistakes that I made in life. Um, you know, I'm not blameless in a lot of things that happened. It is just fact. There's always two people to everything. Um, Now, why I want to highlight this artist, Ren. Um, about a year and a bit ago, year and maybe 4 months, I found his song Hi Ren, and it changed my life. It changed my perspective on things. It broke through walls that I didn't even know that I had put up. Um, Seriously, his he's just amazing. And so I want to jump in with you today and talk about my experience as we kind of go through that music video. So let's get started, shall we? I think that sounds like a good idea. First, I'd also like to say a part of this is literally, this is a one take. This is a 9-minute performance he basically did live. Um, it's it's a work of art beyond anything that I think I've ever comprehended before. Um, he plays the guitar, he sings. It's all one take, one movement, one big go. You know, um, seriously, it's fantastic. And yeah, we're gonna have a listen. I'm gonna show it to you. The first part, I'm just gonna say right away, isn't gonna make sense to a lot of you if you haven't listened to him before. But you will get there. You will absolutely get there. So let's carry on. There's something I like about that. There's a dissonance to it. It doesn't sound perfect. It sounds real. It sounds authentic. Like it hasn't been. Well, yeah, it hasn't been taken on by a mix artist and a producer and a mastering engineer and all that kind of stuff. It's pure. It's real.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ren, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still.
I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect, you're always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy.
Seriously, that back and forth, is something else. And I'm just going to open up my transparent chat overlay. Sorry, guys, just so I can see you guys. I've only got one monitor. I'm doing what I can with what I've got, as it is. So, just bear with me for 1 second. Just then toggle those borders, and then we're good. That back and forth, that's a real thing that you kind of go through. It's a real thing that it's hard to explain. It's difficult to explain, but that voice of the dark side and the light side. For me, it was more, do I carry on or do I give up? Do I keep fighting? Do I surrender? Do I accept that this is what my life's going to be like, or do I carve out my own path, which is what I'm doing right now? So you can see where that decision has kind of led me. I think I said in one of my shorts before, I struggle to go outside. I struggle to meet people. I struggle to look after myself. I struggle with a lot of basics, if I'm 100% honest with you. Stream is sometimes the reason that right now I get out of bed, the reason that I take a shower and get ready, so I can look presentable here. I haven't worked for 8 months and I hate it. I really hate it. I'm off work on a disability benefit, but it's a vicious cycle. The things that I need to help me get better and help me grow and help me learn, a lot of people would go to a psychologist or a therapist for, but I'm blocked by money on that front. And so I've had to do it all myself. I've had to sit here for hours a night thinking about my past, thinking about the things that happened and how they've affected me and how, I'm here where I am today. I've literally spent hours. I mean, the early nights, when I stopped working, I would be there for 6-7 hours just processing my own thoughts, working through my own things. It's surreal that going through it over and over again in my brain helped me make sense of where I'm at and how I got there. And Ren is part of that. It really opened me up to listening to myself and believing in the side of me that felt hopeless almost. And there's a part in here that really, like, it shakes me to my core. It's beautiful in so many ways. Let's carry on.
Nah, mate, this time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great, and when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man, cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me, I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one, split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting. And the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself.
And this touches on another thing, actually. Throughout my time of self-processing and trying to understand where I was at within my healing journey, and sorry, there's a bird outside and I can see it standing on the post. It's a little black bird. It's very cute. What was I saying? Yeah, throughout my journey, it was rough, you know. Sitting there and realizing that I'd gone through my whole life using coping mechanism, that a lot of what I was doing was because that is what society expected me to act like. A lot of doing it because I was asked. I mean, I was so bad that I struggled to say no. I struggled to set boundaries. I struggled to put my needs first in every situation. There would be a somatic response, you know. Someone would be like, "Oh, do you want to do this with me?" And I'd think in my head, "Hell no, I don't want to do that at all." But I couldn't say no because they might get upset. They might have a negative emotional reaction to it. And that dictated my life basically since I was 5 years old, since I started the schooling system, because all my crap goes back to then. Home life, great, you know. We were never well off or anything like that, but my parents made sure that me and my sister ate. My mum would tell me stories, you know, starting a couple of years ago, about when we first moved to a new town, how dad's job fell through and we'd moved there for that job, and there was a time where they would go nights without dinner so me and my sister could eat and things like that. So I was loved, I was looked after, I was, you know, very fortunate in that sense of my family life. But my school life was a living hell. Seriously, it was something else. And it put a lot of self-doubt and a lot of really negative stuff in my mind. That people don't like me. People don't want to be my friend. I'm just the weird kid in school, the quiet one, you know. I learned very quickly to stick to myself, sit in the back corner, do my own thing. Don't put your hand up to answer questions because if you get it wrong, it's going to be hell for you on breaks. You know, and I'm not just talking about name calling. I mean, I was literally physically beaten and mentally tortured every day from the ages of 5 to 16. And I left on my 16th birthday. I left school and carried on and did my own thing. You know, um, it was a rough time. Absolutely, I didn't realize how much it affected me. Um, in my later teenage years, when I went to university at 17, um, I picked up drug habits, heavy drinking, all sorts of stuff, and that carried on for a long time. And it's literally not until this year where my nervous system literally collapsed on me. It basically said, "I'm not doing this coping shit anymore." And I had a point where I couldn't read English, I couldn't understand English, I struggled with super basic stuff. My partner struggled with how much I had changed. My parents struggled with how much I had changed. Um, and in reality, all that had happened was my body said, "I'm not going to keep this mask up anymore. I'm not going to make you fit in anymore to protect you because I've been doing it too long and I can't take this anymore." And there's things that compounded around that time that made it extra bad, really really difficult, and quite specifically, I don't want to mention specifics, but I was going through a time where, you know, I was basically homeless on the weekends. I was trying to provide for my partner. Um, I was stretching myself thin to try and make ends meet, and I still wasn't making ends meet. Even though things are still tough now, because I mean, on a disability benefit, they don't even view internet as a basic resource. So you don't get money for that. You have to figure that out on your own. It's a hard one, you know. And I mean, I'm blabbing on again just because the song, it always brings up so much. It really does. It's a literal work of art.
Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with his subconscious, Eminem did it. Played on guitar, Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this.
And that right there, that response from the friend that's on screen right now, that fuck you, I don't need to hear this. I can't tell you how many times I told myself that when I would just down myself and be super negative to myself. I was trying my best for everybody around me, but no one, I mean, I'm not going to say no one. I was trying my best for everyone around me, and nobody else could see how it was affecting me. So nobody offered me the help that I needed. But then I also learned that the help that I needed wasn't going to come easily. I have fought 2 district health boards. I have messaged every psychologist out there. I have pleaded my story to professionals in hopes that there might be a pathway that I could go down to get help, because thousands of dollars, quite frankly, that it costs to get the help that would actually help me is just not realistic unless I am working in a job that gives me excess income, which is difficult to do in New Zealand at the moment. Then I'd be able to access it. But the hard part is to be able to actively work. You know, I could work from home on my computer, but I'm borrowing this desk, this seat. My phone is my webcam right here. I have a mouse, a keyboard, 1 monitor, my computer with no graphics card, and I'm making do with what I have. But some of the hard things are, you know, I need a desk and a seat, and that would make it so I can get a work from home job, but I don't have ways to access those. I've been denied work because I don't have them. And I can't just go and work in a store because I freak out in public, and I struggle with things, if I'm being completely honest. New things, especially things that change last minute. It's been a time and a half, if I'm completely honest with you. And it's obviously nothing compared to what Ren has gone through. If you know his full story, and we will touch on that after the video, after we've watched this, he's seriously endured so much. It's wild. It's absolutely insane. But basically, trapped in this loop that I'm trying to get out of. To be able to access the help that I need to have money to get money. I have to work. To be able to work in a standard environment, I need to access the help that will help me overcome the things that I'm dealing with. And so it's this vicious cycle. I can't do just any old work without that help. I can't get that help unless I do work. I can't work in a normal place, so I have to figure out a work from home situation. And it's difficult because I don't have an ergonomic office set up to show potential employers, say, yes, look, I meet your health and safety standards. This is my setup. So it's catch-22. You know, it's catch-22 by all means. I've tried a lot of things, and I mean, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but like, we'll just say I've looked at long-term loans. I have talked to people about grants. I have talked to my bank. I have talked to the place that provides my benefit, because part of their thing is to get work ready, but they will not accept that I have to work from home because I haven't been able to get a diagnosis, because I haven't been able to work, because I haven't been able to function. And it's just this, so many different cycles that happening and carrying on, and it's seriously messed up. Honestly, it's seriously messed up. But I'm babbling again. Let's carry on.
Cause I'm fine. Seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside.
This part, chat, this part.
Newsflash. I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistophelies, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender. When standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips. So you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal, feeble and normal. You wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren.
Alright, this part coming up. This is seriously the part that pushed me to carry on, and to not just bury myself again and push until I collapsed again, and instead make changes to my life so it works around me. And it's powerful. There's an action that you'll see. It seems very simple, but it has so much power behind it. And there are words that he speaks that are just, oh.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet.
Right there, where he stands. It sends shivers down my spine every time.
And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with me, my
actually roll that back.
I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as Hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? 'Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So care of the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs, that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different side.
That moment where he talks about hope, that's what kept me going. That's what made me push for what would work for me. Because one thing that I know about myself, that I know is completely true, is that I'm resilient. And I have been in a lot of places in my life and dealt with a lot of things. And the fact that I've overcome, we're just going to be raw here. I've overcome suicidal tendencies. I have made it through attempts. I have beaten drug addictions, alcohol problems, because I want a better life for myself. I want to not just survive, I want to thrive. And this is where we're at right now in terms of my journey, is I'm not having to spend the weekends homeless anymore. You know, begging people for a place to stay, whether it's a caravan in someone's backyard or someone's couch, or relying on other people to put a roof over my head while I'm not able to access my house. Getting out of that situation, you know, I managed to get into quite a small place. It's literally this room, and then through that door back there is the living room, kitchen, entryway, and then there's a spot for a toilet just past that. As a tiny place, but it's given some stability and more ability for me to think about things and process things. And it's been a journey, a big journey. And now here's the thing. I like rock and metal mainly. I found Ren because I had some artists, well, YouTubers actually, that I would watch react to music, and I saw this pop up, and I was like, it's a kind of cool aesthetic. It's like broken down building, he's in a hospital gown, and all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of like, what the hell at first, especially when I first heard the bit at the start and the bit at the end. I was kind of like, okay. But as I've listened to it, like I've listened to this song hundreds, possibly thousands of times since I found it. It helps me access parts of me that I can't usually access that well. There is a level of alexithymia within me, and things like this help me access parts of my emotions so I can actually process and work on things. Before finding Ren, it was bands like Papa Roach who would sing about the hardship and the things that they've been through, and I would kind of relate to those. But Ren, seriously, he covers everything. He's talking about the desperation, the want to make his music, him being proud, but then also the self-righteous side that is basically saying he's a fake, he's copying other people, and that nobody likes him and whatever, you know. Um, and we all have those demons inside us when it comes to certain things, we really do. But I'm babbling again, so I'm just going to show you the end of this video because it gets real. It gets really real. I want you to listen to what he has to say.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis.
So right there, I can't even compare what I have been dealing with to what he has been dealing with. Yes, I've dealt with mental illness, instability, and problem after problem to do with people pleasing behaviors. But seriously, this guy, Ren, I know he watches React videos, so if you do ever see this, thank you for being raw and for putting yourself out there like this. Because seriously, if you've literally changed my life and helped me with access to my emotions and working on emotional literacy and things like that, there is countless others that you've probably helped more than me. I'm privileged compared to a lot of people. I may go without food here and there. I may struggle to pay bills. I may have my phone cut off occasionally because I can't keep up with things. But that's nothing compared to some of the other people out there. And so being super real right now, this is music. This is real. This is raw.
With autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare. But there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
Exactly that. We are human beings. And some of the some of the things that we have to go through as human beings are not ideal for us at all. I think it says a lot about a person how they handle themselves in those situations and what they do. I think it speaks volumes when somebody wants to work on themselves and wants to be better and wants to grow. How easy would it have been for Ren to literally just say, I'm suffering from severe mental illness. I can't focus on my music, the things that I love. I have to sit in this and try to figure it out. And I mean, sure, he probably did for a while. He probably sat there like, what the hell's going on? Why is this happening to me? And all this kind of stuff. But the thing is, something that I've learned, things don't happen to you. Things just happen. And it's about how you deal with them. It's raw. It's real. And when you always look at the negatives and you blame the universe for things that happen to you, you'll never see what actually causes these things to happen. Whether it's subtle decisions you make, whether it's certain energies you put out there, or whatever, we can change these things with persistence, with understanding, with growing, with asking for help, all sorts of things. So one thing I want to say right now is go to Ren's channel, give him a like, subscribe. Seriously, this man will change your life if music moves you. Now, this is before anyone asks. Yes, I did just like it, but this is on my channel. I have been subscribed and liking his videos on my just content consuming channel. It's linked to my TV and my phone for a very long time now. I really hope that some of you have enjoyed hearing about what I've had to say about my life and where I'm at, and that I've potentially introduced some of you to Ren for the first time. Because seriously, honestly, this guy's amazing. Go follow him. Go do it now.